Here we are again.
Here we are again.
Oh.
Another week.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Burning some time.
Yeah.
We're good at it.
Well, you guys got to really burn some time over this week.
Yeah, kind of sad it's over with, though.
It was just a horrible time.
What's that?
It was just a horrible time.
The whole thing was just horrible.
It was
I can
horrible.
only imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, being VIP at a, and being treated like celebrities was horrible.
So
I
bad.
can only imagine.
That's the only way to do it, though. I mean,
Yeah, it's not. We will only do it that way from now on. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other way to do it than VIP. Like, you will never do the regular ticket ever again. Like, when you can walk past like a brand new line. Like, how many people? What was the time on Mario?
Well, we should probably say
so
what-
everybody
what you're
knows we
talking about.
went to Universal
Yeah.
Studios and Legoland in Southern California, and Universal. We did the VIP tour ticket package, which is fairly expensive, a little bit more than your average ticket, but I mean you can't beat it. I mean, once you factor in your ticket, get your fast pass or express pass is what it is there, you still can't go to the front of every ride. Like it'll take you, some rides it'll take you up to a certain point and then you blend in, and then other rides it does take you all the way to the front. But like Super Nintendo World on Mario Kart, there was no express lane. The only way you could go ahead of line is if you had the VIP tickets. And
So it basically like a built-in top tier fast pass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got there, they had breakfast catered to us, and had lunch. So the cook that made the lunch was like buffet style, but it's one of their top tier chefs that cooks for when the stars are there performing their stuff. It's one of the chefs that's on scene, and they had some food that was to die for. I mean,
It was gourmet buffet.
oh yeah.
So it wasn't just like a regular buffet. It was like gourmet buffet. So it was like top tier food.
I mean, like,
You make an omelet just how you want it, kind of thing.
No, pasta, yeah. There was like shrimp and crab and stuff you could have.
I
them.
thought you were talking about the breakfast.
Oh no, the
The
breakfast.
breakfast was different now.
The breakfast had like salmon croissant breakfast sandwiches and ham and cheese breakfast sandwiches, and then
Yogurt, and
Yogurt,
fruit,
fruit.
and
cookies,
juices and coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was enough to get you full,
Right.
But lunch, like I don't do fish or anything. There was a salmon steak there. I guess I don't know what you call a slab of stabbing salmon. Slab of stabbing.
Slip stamp.
But it was like caramelized. It looked really freaking
Salmon
good.
is
man.
really good. If it's done right, salmon's really
I mean,
good.
it looked like candy sitting there. Like
It's probably smoked.
I don't know. It was glazed over. It looked like goodness. I didn't try it, but everything else, dude, there was nothing on there that was like. Well, they had like a Korean chicken. Not Korean.
The teriyaki chicken?
No, the other stuff they had.
Chicken curry.
Maybe it was curry. Yeah, chicken curry. I tried it. I mean, it didn't taste horrible, but it just wasn't my flavor thing to do.
They had
But-
they had like gelato and like cookies like on a warming plate, like where it's all
So they
super
stay
warm.
warm and soft.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like super legit. Like it was very good. It was all you could eat, and that's just a small portion of like our day. Like
So our tour was over by 2:00. We got there at like 7:40. By 2:00, I'd only spent a couple dollars because we went through the Harry Potter deal. They had this special soda there. It was called Butterbeer,
Yeah.
and I wanted to try it.
it's super good.
I mean, waters were provided for us. You didn't have to buy anything, but that's all I bought by 2:00. And by 2:00, we went on every ride but two. Plus, seen the water show. You know what I mean? Like, and we were relaxed. It was like
Yeah, not like you're rushing around.
you're not
and
stressed
stuck in a
out.
fucking
Yeah, you're like,
crowd and
And what I
shit.
mean, like every like ride, like the studio tours, like what is that, an hour and a half, 2 hours by itself?
yeah.
We would have done that too. Like
Nice.
everything, because we were able to get to the front of every line
So like
immediately.
So you guys went to the live studios or the active studios?
we got to go.
More lever?
We had to go buy them. Or not had to go buy. They took us by them all.
Mhm.
But we weren't able to get off and go into any of the
No.
actual studios.
That sucks.
The outside studios, we went by and seen stuff like they were setting up for American Ninja Warrior. So in between one of the, because like I never realized exactly what Universal was about, and it's Universal Studios exactly as it says. They got
whatever.
multiple studios for you to go rent out. Like me or you could go rent a studio out
Right.
and do whatever we wanted in there and film whatever we wanted, or we could use the outside stuff.
Right.
So like Desperate Housewives, I think
There's a
Gilmore
whole
Girls.
suburb of houses there.
Yeah.
And it looks like a suburb.
Like a little town, like a neighborhood.
Yeah. And so it's like Desperate Housewives was filmed there, and a bunch of other different like movies and they named a bunch of stuff that were like, oh yeah, we've seen that. But just a bunch of different shows and movies that have been like.
And they did take us through. It was called the wardrobe building, but we didn't get to go into the wardrobe room.
It was like all the props.
It was all the props, so like you can literally go there and rent out everything you need for a house to furniturize it.
Nice.
And it was like you needed a 10% down. Like anybody can go in there and rent from them. Like me or you, if like we had a empty house and we needed to fill it up with some stuff to have a nice party and make it look like we're rich,
Right.
you could go down there and literally rent the whole thing out and put it in there.
And they've
set
all
it
been
up.
in movies and TV shows.
Right. Yeah. I feel you. Yeah. It's
What if you want like a
it's all production shit, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you want like a theme party, say like we wanted to do like some like Egyptian theme party.
Right.
There's-
Or if you're shooting a music video or some kind of shit,
something.
Yeah.
you
Like-
rent out a house and then you go and rent all this fucking elaborate
Well,
furniture and put it in there.
It's not even just furniture. There's like statues and like just different things for your house, like that you would, and for like the outside of your house that you would need. And so it was like interesting. And they all had barcodes at the bottom of them, like a library where like you check them out and you like, it's the,
that would be pretty fun to do if like you ever won the lottery. Just you had the hundreds of millions.
now that I know
of dollars
this,
sitting in the
I want to
bank.
do that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like how cool would it be just to go and do something?
I do
just
wanna
like
do this.
Just a dumbass little movie project, whatever. Just
Just
to be, like,
because.
just to do it.
Mhm.
Just to be able to say, yeah, I rented out Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Well, there's like The Rock has a studio there, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah. He's got his own little.
A bunch of people like have studios there. They showed a bunch of movies and TV shows when we were going through the thing, like telling us like what's been taped there and stuff like that. And like things that we've seen, like Princess Diaries, for example, Anne Hathaway, like there's the scene where she's in Genovia and like that scene's there of them, it's because remember it was like a little city area, town square, and it could be like any country. They could change the flag and immediately it was a different country.
And all of a sudden, yeah, it's just a different country.
They said that
you change the flag and change the language, and it's a different country.
and you
as
pan
far
to
as
a different
anybody else
area,
knows,
they don't know. So they said they had actually one movie where it was like one country on one side and one country on the other side. Literally, I'm staring at like, you could see both countries. And so like, and they just panned it differently to make it look like, and you wouldn't have known any different in the movie.
Right. Well, you're
that it
only
was-
seeing so much.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's fucking,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool when you really start thinking about it. How much?
well, they even have like an area there where it's like a, you know how they have bazaars and stuff like that back in the day, and they have like, what I'm talking about, with like tables with they're selling stuff like in an old, that's India, and they're
Oh
all,
yeah. Okay.
they have like a bunch of tables they're selling
Right.
stuff in like a bazaar,
yeah.
and so they actually have a little area that they've filmed a bunch of different movies.
Yeah, it's like the backside of two buildings, just the alleyway in between them.
It's tiny. It's
Yeah.
tiny.
Yeah.
And they said that the way that they do the camera angles and stuff like that, it looks huge in there. And so like it makes me want to watch stuff. She said a bunch of stuff that's been, what was it? The one with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. It was the one where he was,
It's Jumanji one, wasn't it?
no, it's not Jumanji. It was the one where he was the something king, Scorpion King.
Oh,
Scorpion
Scorpion
King.
King.
So that
was The Rock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was filmed there. And then like, talk about the one with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, so I think it's the first Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack Sparrow's running from the Blue Coats. It's Blue Coats, right?
The red coats.
Red
Red Coats.
It's the red coats.
And he's going down the he's running in between some buildings, and then there's a little cutout in the wall, and there's a statue there, and he hides behind the statue. Then all the redcoats go running by him, and then he takes the sword out of the statue's hand, and he turns around and goes for the first little wooden door, and that goes into
The blacksmith's.
yeah, but
Shop.
what's the dude's name?
Oh, Will Turner.
Will Turner's blacksmith shop, where they build the swords and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That whole little scene right there on the outside was filmed there. So they set up and filmed there. I think she said for like
It was a long time.
it was like fucking like 2 or 3 months or some
Mhm,
shit,
it
something
was.
stupid.
Yeah.
And then when he goes into the blacksmith shop, they took everything else to the other site. Like it wasn't filmed there. It was filmed back at
The blacksmith
Paramount's
shop has nothing in it. It's just an empty.
Yeah, and
spot.
literally opened the door that went to the blacksmith shop, and it goes in like 10 foot and ends.
There's nothing
There's
there.
nothing in there.
There's
yeah.
nothing in there.
But it was really cool. It was like when you're there and you actually see it, and then you think about the movie, you're like, oh yeah, oh shit, this is where this is at.
What are some of the other ones? There's Universal Studios. There's Paramount. Is Paramount a studio? I know there's a couple of different studios.
I think
that are
Paramount
down
is a studio.
And I want to say it's down there. It's not quite as public like Universal, but you can.
There's
go do,
Warner
studio-
Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Studios,
That's the one I was
which you
thinking.
can do a Warner Brothers tour too.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can do a tour, but it's not like they have like a
It's like a
theme
$50
park.
tour. No, it's so. What are you looking up?
Oh no, texting somebody about something.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. We had a lot of fun. Fucking, we besides like getting on all the like stuff, it was just nice to have a tour guide. It was nice to like not be stressed out about going in front of the lines and stuff, like or like standing in line for like 2 fucking hours, 4 hours, because like
yeah, that right there. makes-
Super Nintendo was up to 4-hour wait.
Oh, I'm sure that's the one that just
It's
opened.
the brand
right?
new one.
Yeah.
So we went on it twice just because we
So-
could.
Did you fit on it, Kenny?
On which one?
The Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
Super Nintendo.
yeah. They didn't measure around the waist. No,
Did they have the little test seat over there?
I didn't see one.
Supposedly there was a test seat right there by the where the line starts, or right before you get on, or something.
Honestly, for that one, I don't even know why you'd need it because it doesn't go fast. It doesn't go side to side. It just you're basically in a golf cart, or I guess it is a certified golf cart that's got some raised seating
Right.
in the back, and then just some little lap deals that sit on you, and then you're driving. There's 4 people
yeah, but
in
I mean,
a
if
deal.
the seats are only so wide, then they're only so wide.
They're
Yeah.
not what they said.
No,
No. So when they said, oh, you got to be like 41 inches if you're a
Yeah,
woman
yeah.
and if you're, or whatever.
I thought it was like 40-inch or below. Or
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like you kind of worry. You're like, oh shit, maybe I'm too fat for this ride. Like, I don't know. Like, who knows if you are or not. And so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It was a cool game. It was like a game ride. So like you have visors you put down and then like you are shooting and like moving the cart and stuff like that and then collecting coins and it's pretty fun.
It's kind of like over there at Six Flags. I don't know if they still have it or not, but they had one where you get on this roller coaster and you straight put on VR headsets. And you ride the roller coaster with the VR headset on. And so instead of seeing the roller coaster, we went during right around Christmas time. So you're in like a sleigh and you're chasing these little elves. I don't know if they stole something from Santa, stole presents or whatever. But there were guns on the side of it that would shoot snowballs. And it's like there's a little button on the side of the headset. So you could like literally stare and like try to aim at these little, little elves while they're flying around, try to shoot them with these snowballs while you're flying around on the thing and you're on the roller coaster. It was pretty fucking cool.
I like that. That's like kind of how Mario is. Mario is like interactive game. Like you're being moved around, but you're shooting at stuff and trying to collect coins and
Like I was sitting there recording while I was holding the wheel and shooting, and then I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was looking at my phone, and you just see us like pull up to a wall and stop. and then it spins this way, and then it spins this way, and you go up to another wall, and you kind of stop, and then kind of drive
because
through
you can't
some
see
stuff.
anything because you have to have the
Because you
fucking
gotta have the
glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was sitting there looking at it, going, "Oh shit, nobody can see what I'm doing. It just looks like you're
You just-
stopping at walls randomly."
Yeah.
He had a fun time with the rides. So there's a lot of rides that have what they call like inverted screens where they're like kind of rounded all the way around.
Legoland has this one. It's the triple decker couch ride. Have you seen any of the Lego movies?
No.
Okay, so they build this flying triple decker couch, and it's exactly that. It's 3 couches stacked on top of each other with rocket jets on it, and that's how they kind of fly around in this certain part of the movie. Well, they made a ride after it, and it's got 3 floors. So depending on which group you in, which floor you go to, we were on the bottom floor, and then you just walk in. There's like these seats hanging, and you get into the seats, and the lap bar comes from over top of your head and shuts down your lap, and then this thing moves back like 3 or 4 foot, and then spins 360 degrees and points you the opposite direction into this room, and the room has this screen it's inverted left to right and concave from up to down, and it actually goes so far where you can't see the edge of the screen, and then below and above you.
It goes beyond your
Your
field
vision of sitting where you're sitting there, and that gets me, man. I mean,
It didn't feel good.
it'll sit there and dangle. But the screen, the way it's inverted, it's 3D. It looks cool as fuck.
Yeah.
But you're doing all this shit and trying to keep up, and my eyes go left to right, and I just can't do it. And I got to sit there with my eyes closed and just lay back and just pray for it to get over with,
So he tried to when we went to Universal, he's like, I'm not going to go on those rides, right? So I'm going to try to not go on them. And so he tried to avoid them. And what was so great about the tour guide is we didn't talk about this when we were in the car. The tour guide explained the rides before you got on them. So he would stop at the entrance and he'd say, so this ride is like this is what it does, this is what you're going to feel, this is how it is, this is more intense, this is whatever level, how it was. If you want to sit out, this is your chance. If you want to go, let's go. And so at different times people would sit out.
Yeah, we went to Harry Potter and they did the train ride first, which I totally could have done.
A train ride, it's just a roller coaster that goes in a circle.
It's almost like the log ride at Disneyland.
It really isn't not that big of a deal.
Not the log ride, but the train. What
Kenny and I went on it, and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's not that I could have done that, but I was wanting to get some of that
Butterbeer.
Butterbeer.
So good.
Was it actually alcoholic or just
No?
You can make alcoholic though. I found out. You can put a
Oh.
shot of whiskey in there.
So I skipped out on that one and went and got butterbeer while her and Kenny were on there, and they get off and we're all sharing it, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go to the castle, and the castle there's freaking legit, dude.
I've heard the show that they put on that thing.
It's amazing.
Pretty badass.
It's huge.
The castle's huge. It is
huge.
It doesn't look big. Everybody when they see it, they're like, it looks tiny. No, it tricks your eye. It is massive. It is like a legit castle.
It looks tiny because it's actually up a hill and goes so far back, But
so it ain't like the Disney castle where it looks like all big and majestic. You walk up and it's like fucking 3 feet deep.
It's legit. Universal did a good job.
So he tells us
it's my favorite area.
Yeah, he tells us on the ride it's got kind of one of those screens, but it is interactive and it does move around to different stuff. And so I was like, nope, I'm good on that one. So he's like, well, you want to go in and check the castle out at least? You can hang out at the exit with me. And I was like, yeah, okay. So we went in there and we broke off with them at one point, and we went to the exit, and it's like a freaking conveyor belt, dude. It enters from one side of the room and goes out the other side of the room, and it's got kind of the same seats. They're like tall seats that you kind of just sit into, and the lap bar comes from over your head and clamps you down. I think there's 5 or 6 people that can go on one row of seats.
No, it's 2. You're talking about, it's 4.
4.
Yeah.
And then it's just consistently and never stops. The conveyor belt just keeps going, and the seats are with the conveyor belt, and the tour guy leans over. He's all, I love this part of the ride. He's all, watch everybody cuts off this. He'll trip, fall, or puke. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, because you're so discombobulated from doing all the stuff on the ride. And
I
then
gotta
you
say,
get off and you're
motherfucker.
on the conveyor belt and you got to walk
Whoa,
like 5 feet until you get to the standing still concrete and get off of it.
And you're all fucked up.
So, and, you know, like when you're looking at it, the conveyor belt goes from left to right. But when you're sitting on it and you come into the room, you're going from, yeah, no, it'd be the same way, right? Right to left. And when they get off, so you get off on the left side's the exit, on the right side's the entrance, and they got these gates, these metal welded in fucking gates, dude, and people come off and get onto the concrete and still be stumbling going to the left about running into the gate. And I was laughing. And he goes, dude, this used to be so much worse because they used to have it 3D when it first opened.
Oh my God.
So you had to put the 3D goggles on and then do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, the ride itself, you're sitting in that seat, right? And they put the bar down, and what it does is it moves you up and down and side to side and front and back, and it just moves all around, and it moves you at different directions of this building while you're doing that in front of a different screen and different props that like jump out at you. It's my favorite ride there.
I've heard it's really good.
It's a freaking awesome
I've heard
ride.
It's one of the better ones.
It is
there.
the best ride there. But it will make you fucking sick. And then you have to walk off after you've done all that shit onto a fucking thing. Okay, keep going. I just want to throw that in
Onto a
there.
Fucking people mover to
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and so what he was saying is when the 3D goggles were being used, he said at least 1 to 2 people out of every seat would come out with puke on them. It was just a common thing.
I bet you they put the people mover in there just because when people get off, they're so disoriented, they don't know what to do, what way to go or anything. So they just put a conveyor belt in. They're like, fuck it. They fall down, whatever. We're getting them out. Just shovel them out.
Let's just say that rides don't make me sick. I'm a really good big roller coaster enthusiast.
I was going to say,
They don't make me sick ever.
that
That
Yeah.
ride was the first ride that has ever made me towards the end feel like, whoa, it is very intense. When he says whenever he said it was intense,
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't fucking kidding. But honestly, even though it made me sick, it was my favorite ride.
There was one girl got off and she ran straight to the fucking trash can, and I feel like it was like 10 minutes, but it was probably like 2 minutes of her just sitting there, and her freaking daughter's like 6 years old. It's like Kenny rubbing Rachel's back. You okay, Mom?
You
Mom,
ready to go
it's
again?
okay.
Kenny went on it.
Kenny wrote it. He wanted to go back on it.
And I told Kenny no.
One and done.
Give me some time, dude. Give me some time, dude. Like, that was an intense experience. I've never experienced anything like that before.
But dude, it was so cool having the tour guide because it just like when we went to Super Nintendo World, we were looking at reviews on there and we were going, I wonder how this is going to work with the VIP.
We really read a lot of bad reviews.
Because Super Nintendo is so new, they're not even doing an express lane there. So there is no fast pass per se to get straight to the front of the line. And when we were there, the line was like 2 hours and 45 minutes, almost 3 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
And the tour guide, we just fucking walked right up there, went to the fucking, there was like, everybody was on the right-hand side lane and the left hand was open. We walked into it.
Took us 3 minutes to get to the front.
He walked us all the way up to the front.
The only reason why I know is I recorded the whole thing. I was like, do as I walked past all the people and just fucking kept on walking. Oh, hella fucking dirty looks.
Dirtiest looks, dude.
Dirty ass looks.
I feel it, you know. I mean, they paid normal price for like peasants would do.
There was a comedian that said something about like all that VIP shit. He's like, man, why don't you guys give me a fucking pair of crutches, a wheelchair or something? Make it to where it looks like,
no,
you
dude.
know?
No, we paid our money for that. That was,
It was a lot of,
like I said, it was money.
money.
Well, it's a lot of money when you're looking at it going, man, I don't know, but it 100% money
It was worth it.
well spent.
Honestly, I would like if you would ever want to go, I would tell you save up the money. I'm just gonna say how much it is. I already said how much it was on TikTok.
Okay.
It's $420
Per person.
per person.
That's not terrible.
It's
when
not
it's a
terrible.
family, it adds
Well,
up
I
pretty
mean,
quickly.
yeah, I'm sure it adds up real quick. But
You're
I
in
mean,
the thousands of dollars by then.
Yeah, but I mean,
But it's-
when you think about everything you get out of it, that's
It is
really
so
not that
worth
bad.
No,
the
what you
money.
You
get
could
out
do
of
a
it.
lot worse.
Dude, we rode Mario Kart 2 times in a day
Just because we
Yeah.
could.
and still had like 5 hours left in the park.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, when do you get to do that? Never.
No one gets to do
Right.
that. Everybody's
Well,
complaining
and I
about
mean,
it.
You look at granted, it's not really a kid thing, but Lollapalooza. We were looking at that back in the day.
Oh yeah.
The VIP on that back then was like $1,400-$1,500, I think it was.
Oh yeah. But
And-
well worth it.
Yeah, but
Well,
hell,
like
just
that.
the normal 3-day ticket's gonna run you $400.
Well, and all the extra stuff that you're gonna. We were talking about Universal, like the food we spent. Like, how much money do you think we would have spent on the food if like $200?
Yeah, even that, man. I
More
mean,
than that because
We had
fucking
the
food's
characters,
expensive in
too.
those places.
well, we got 3 corn dogs, a churro, and two
That's
sodas,
$75
two
right
sodas
there.
Yeah,
and water,
it
and it was
was.
$75.
It was like $75, and it was.
and it was not that good.
Yeah.
The churro was good, but the churros are the same churros.
I've had a stomach
You
ache since
no
then.
matter where
really,
you go.
how do you
How do you
gotta
fuck up
try pretty
cinnamon and
hard to fuck
sugar?
up a churro. The people can do it, but you gotta try pretty hard.
Well, we got the nicer bus. Like, everybody got to ride in the tram.
So normally they put you on the trams that are like 90 people.
No, it's 160 people.
160
I remember
people.
that number. 160 people
Only
on the tram.
there was only room for like 19 people on ours.
Nice.
And there was a
And it's
freaking
like enclosed.
ice chest with water in it.
Yeah, and it's enclosed, isn't
It's
it?
No, it's open.
It's open.
Oh,
The windows
it's
are
open.
open.
It has, so like if it's raining really hard, they got clear plastic windows that come down for you.
But it's closed. It's closed up to like
It's not
up
even
to
plastic. I think
here,
it's like clear
Oh.
vinyl.
and then
Okay.
it's just a window. Does that make
Okay.
sense? So
Okay.
it's yeah.
So you're still on like a tram type thing. They're
Oh,
not,
yeah.
like, putting
So
you in, like,
nice.
Oh,
The
yeah, yeah,
difference.
for sure.
Dude, the seats,
It's so nice.
yeah.
The seats were super comfortable compared to like those like plastic seats that you would sit
You're
on
on
the tram.
that. You're on that basically just for the tour, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't ride that through the park.
You'd be calling that fucker up like, "Hey, take me
can't ride
over
the-
to fucking Harry Potter."
Well, like they stop at different spots, and you get off, and they do a little walkthrough tour, and they tell you all
yeah,
about.
no, I'm
what's been
talking like on
filmed
demand.
there.
You know, like
Yeah, no. it's
Well,
not-
take me to the dinner.
nice about the studio tour is like when you're off and you're just like standing there, like they're talking about the different scenes and stuff. The regular tram comes through and you just wave at them. You're like, you can't get off the tram.
What's up, peasants?
Yeah. It was super nice. Like, it was super legit. You felt like a celebrity. There's even like when we went to go to the Water World and see that, there was a spot for just the VIP to sit.
yeah, the
Yeah.
very center mid row, all VIP.
The perfect spot. You saw everything.
Basically, yeah.
It was like the
they give
perfect
you
spot.
The spot.
Dude,
yeah.
I forgot how they were in that fucking show, but I haven't been there in
Oh, that was great.
over 20 years. I mean, I think I was
I've never been.
no.
No.
So they start off. There's like
Do you like roller
it's like
coasters?
stadium seating.
yeah.
Oh, you would love it there.
Yeah, I go to Six Flags.
Would you go this summer? Would you spend the $400?
Sure, at some point, probably figure it out.
So it's like stadium
about it.
seating, right? And then the first so many chairs or bleachers in each row are painted green or blue. And if you're in any of the painted ones, you're getting wet.
Oh,
Like
shit.
it's not you might get wet. It's
Like
you are
you are.
getting wet.
For sure, you're getting wet.
And
For sure.
And the color
They're-
code is probably like the level of wetness that you're gonna get.
yeah,
or whatever,
and so
yeah.
people are loading in. There's all these people sitting in the center where we are, but all the way down in the green. And this dude literally gets like a bucket full of water, and he walks out, and he's talking on a mic, and he's like, "I just want to let you guys all know, if you're sitting in the green, you will get wet." And he reaches his hand in his bucket, and he's standing right next to this dude, and he just starts
splashing water on
water
it.
Yeah,
on him. He's like,
yeah.
"I just want everybody to know, like not even looking at him, but like trying to tell the audience, green or blue seats, you're getting wet. Not how much, it's you are getting wet, blah, 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 blah." And then he goes back and he gets this like, it's like a weed sprayer, but it's got water in it.
He's
got-
fucking.
He's got the tip of it off.
comes back with a fucking fire hose.
And there's this like 9-year-old kid. He just starts not even looking at him, just starts spraying him, dude.
That dude has the best job.
And he's just,
It was pretty
he's-
fucking awesome.
it's
to be
like
honest.
a big old thing he goes through on making sure everybody knows you're going to get wet in these seats. So if you don't want to be there, you better move. And like, he's talking for like probably a minute and he's never let off the button getting this kid wet, dude. Just, I was like,
They,
this kid was soaked, dude.
they gotta be like sit-ins.
Mm,
They gotta be.
I don't
You're-
think so, but
there's
Think about where you're at.
okay. So if it was those two, yeah, but the other people that were
Yeah.
there were not all sit-ins. That you get wet in those seats.
yeah, they bring a jet ski.
They're
by
not going to
and-
hire like 60, 70, 80 people to get wet like that. There's no fucking way. They will hire one-offs, but not
I'm saying,
like that.
yeah, I don't know about all of them. Yeah, no.
'Cause you're gonna
I'm
get
sure,
wet in
but
that
I'm sure
seat.
there are a couple of them though that they get sat
We-
in there, and
He-
that's the people that they get to hit. Because how are you gonna go up to a fucking kid just randomly and just fucking hose down their fucking face
I don't
without,
know.
especially this day and age?
I mean, if that's your job, that's what you're going to do. I
I'm
don't
telling
think
you
you'd
right
have
now-
a problem with doing it. would
Kenny
you?
wants to do it, so
if-
I'll tell you soon.
If that is the case and it is truly random, where the fuck do I sign up for this job?
Right.
you
They were-
are gonna get.
They were taking
wet.
the super soakers where it's just a tube and you fill up and squirting everybody right there. I mean, they squirted this big old Samoan dude. Like,
Be looking for people that are
Mm-hmm.
like fucking high or fucking falling asleep and just.
Kenny wanted to sit down there because they were like, if you guys want to sit in the green, you can. And Kenny's like, I want to sit in the green.
no, you don't.
And our tour guide,
Uh,
tour guide's like, you're gonna get wet for sure. And like we're like, no, Kenny.
How about green adjacent?
Well, he wanted to sit in the front on the Jurassic Park ride, and the Jurassic Park ride, when you sit in the front, you will get wet. And we were like, no. He's all, if you want to sit in the back, that's the best spot. And we're like, okay, in the back we go.
And that was the cool thing about the tour guide too, is because if there was a certain ride where you were like, hey, I want front center, I want front left, right,
sit wherever
center,
you
I want the
want.
back, wherever you wanted to
He
sit,
will get you on
told
there.
him that, he would get you in that seat,
Huh?
guaranteed.
It
no
is
problems.
legit worth the fucking money. Like,
Oh yeah.
Like even Super Nintendo World, when we went to Mario Kart, you go all the way up to a certain point, then you get trapped in these rooms where they're telling you everything, how it works and all that stuff, and then you move into another room and get your hat, and then you get in line to get to the front. Well, he had us go down this one that got us almost all the way down, and we were kind of in a line. And he just, excuse me, everybody, walked past everybody, went and talked to the people up front. And the people controlling the ride had everybody in front of us move to the side so we could walk by them and get on the freaking ride, dude. Like, I think the longest we waited was the walks going from the beginning to the actual ride was our wait. I mean, like 3 minutes,
Well, the thing
maybe.
is, we didn't have the tour guide ended at a certain time. When we were done with the tour, we were done, and we got the VIP entrance still the rest of the day,
So we were still able, like, we went back to Mario Kart and did the same thing.
and did the
Just
same
walked
thing
right up.
Walked
right up to
right
the
all the way to
fucking
the front.
front.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah, straight out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They fucking scan you, and they know you're VIP, and they get you to the fucking front, and you were like,
Do they like? That's what I'm saying. Like, do you get up to the ride and do they escort you to the front, or do you have to walk up to the front and be like VIP bitches?
well, when we weren't with the tour guide, we
That's
had
what I'm
to,
saying,
we
like-
had to go all the way up to the point where the line stopped. We didn't try doing anything past that.
yeah, I wasn't gonna be all, hey,
I'm VIP, bitch.
Hey,
move.
hey.
I'm saying I'll be walking right up to where they fucking let people
You
in
might
there.
you might be able to get away with that. You know, it's, we didn't
"What,
ask.
motherfuckers."
We didn't ask if we could do that or not.
it literally was like a 4-minute wait that time. It was not even nothing compared
Yeah.
to like what everybody was
Compared
waiting.
to the 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like we were
Right.
totally
Yeah.
fine with like the extra minute. We're like, I guess we have to
Like,
wait.
I guess we can do that. Yeah. No, I feel you on that.
What was cool too, though, is you could buy these little wristbands. In the wristbands in Mario World, you could do different things. It was like it's real interactive with you. So there's like coin blocks. You can walk over and hit your wrist with the band and get coins, and all the coins get added up. So it's like an online game. So each time you go there, you can keep adding your score to the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there was like there was 4 different areas that were like walk through kind of self tours in the Super Nintendo world. And one of them you couldn't go through unless you did the other three first, and you had the wristband, and you had to find the key. So you had to have 3 keys to get into Bowser's lair, and then you can go into Bowser's lair. And that one went up like 2 or 3 stories and went to a balcony that overlooked the Super Nintendo world right there.
That's cool.
And then there were, we didn't go up there. We didn't take the time to do all that. We had plenty of time to do it if we wanted to, but evidently there's binoculars up there, and when you look through the binoculars, it'll put random characters throughout the park messing with people.
Like augmented reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super freaking cool, dude. I mean,
That was cool shit.
the whole experience on the VIP, pretty freaking legit, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can complain about on it. I mean, the way they treated you, the way they got you to where you needed to go, and then when he left you, you weren't all stressed out going, oh
What
my
now?
God, oh
Yeah.
my God. You know, you were like, fuck, I've already been around the whole park. You want to go back to the hotel for an hour or two and come back?
Right?
Like,
Yeah, it's like fucking, you've done everything you really wanted to do, so now it's just like extra
Well,
shit.
We went back to the hotel, smoked, and then went back to the park. Free shuttles. We stayed at the Hilton right across the street. So
Nice.
it was literally like a 9-minute walk or freaking 9-minute.
Wait
Shuttle
5
ride,
minutes
you know
for
what
the
I
shuttle
mean?
and get there in
Yeah.
4. Right? Yeah.
So we went back and rode the 2 rides we didn't ride, and then did Super Nintendo World again, and we still had like another 6 hours in the park.
Before they closed.
Yeah.
and- yeah.
We were gonna try to wait for the I think it's a light show on
Yeah.
the castle.
Yeah, Harry Potter. They do a show at night on it. And
Yeah.
I've heard that is like the thing worth seeing over there.
Yeah, well, that's what we were gonna try, but it was like another hour and a half away, and it was just like,
You're already
You
sitting there
know?
kind of like wandering around, like been there, done that, did that twice. Okay, did that twice. Then,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I wanted. She decided
Shit,
against
it'd
it.
been worth it to go back to the hotel, fucking hang out for a few, an hour, and then go back over and
Go
watch
back,
the
yeah.
show.
No, you could, because the shuttle doesn't end until the park's closed.
Yeah,
And it still runs, I think, for another like hour after the park closes
to
because
get people out.
because Universal walks right there by the entrance,
Hmm.
so you can leave the park, go to Universal Walk, and check out all this
Check
crap.
all that shit.
Yeah, but
I'm a hungry 6-year-old.
freaking Lego World though, there was this one deal we walked up to. It's like this little box out in the middle. So there's this area in the center, I think it's a center, where it's all like they got Las Vegas out of Lego blocks built.
Oh yeah,
You
all
know,
the casinos.
And then I think in Chicago, all the towers, the towers and shit. They're like a whole bunch of different random places built out of Legos, and cars, boats, airplanes, helicopters.
Yeah, that was like when we went over there to Lollapalooza. Remember inside, it was what it was called, Willis Tower at that point.
Yeah.
And they had that. It was like 300,000 Legos or some shit they used to build a fucking
Yeah.
model of the skyscraper right there in the
Yeah.
lobby.
Yeah.
So where this area is, to one side of it's this little box, and it's got like a little opening hallway you can walk into it. And when you walk into it, it's like a freaking squirrel cage, and it's like 16 dudes in there fucking building Lego stuff, and it's got a glass wall in front of them, so you can literally go in there and just stare at these dudes while they're building Lego shit. Like this guy was building some kind of ship that was, I mean, it was every bit of probably 7 foot long,
Huh.
and he's sitting there
Those are legit jobs.
plucking away
I
at
was
it.
gonna say, can you imagine?
That's your job, to build Legos.
Can you imagine? You get on Indeed, you're just cruising around, like, I wonder what's on there, and you see Lego Builder,
Yeah, it's a
Sign-
job.
Full-time.
Sign me up.
$100,000,
Well, it's because of-
$100,000 a year with benefits or some
It's-
shit.
All the stuff that I didn't get any.
Must be able to assemble in public.
Right? I do it all day long.
There's.
Fuck yeah.
It's because they
and
have
it's
to
not
make
like-
big stuff.
Yeah, and it's not like shit that, the way I imagine they're doing it is they're taking a picture and then rendering it to the size they want, and then they got some kind of program that they can run over the picture, and it'll tell them what blocks are needed to make it look close to this.
Yeah.
And then they sit there because they had their laptop out and they were kind of going
Back and
working,
forth.
looking,
Yeah.
going back and building. Just the way I imagine. I don't know if that's how it actually goes down. But, I mean, this dude, like I said, it was like almost 7 foot long, dude. It was a big ship. And he only had first inch and a half of the bottom built.
Right.
You know, so.
Have you ever seen some of the Lego projects that are like on YouTube? People
Oh, yeah.
building fucking cars and shit, replicas of cars that function with lights and shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, that's just a little portion of it. So
Right,
like they're
what's-
all.
That's Lego?
Yeah, they're all Legos, just
Okay.
built of.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, but it's huge area. The whole. It's
Too bad you can't go like walking up over to it. I mean, I know that's cool. You can get pretty close, but it's like, man. Are they all kits, or is that just like?
Those are just people building the Legos in the room.
Oh, that's where they're building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is not what I imagined.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like a little squirrel cage or something. These guys
Yeah.
are behind some glass. It's
I imagine them just like sitting on the floor, building away. You know,
No, like
fucking-
a little workshop. It's like a little workshop of them building Legos and stuff, and it's pretty fucking cool. It's like
that would be awesome.
that. I mean, the shit that they like, that's made out of Legos. Like, there's everything that they have
Yeah.
there is like intense, huge. I mean, multiple things that they're like 200. Remember, it was like
Man.
280,000 was the number.
yeah.
This is made out of 280,000 Legos. This one's made out of 280,000 Legos. Everything was made out of 280,000 Legos. It seemed like, but like, it was just like a lot of stuff.
And you know, who would have thought? Like, you know, when that ship came out back in the day.
Now they have like a theme park, multiple places. This is not the first, and it's not just here in California. They have Legolands everywhere, a bunch of places. But like, it's like a super popular. I mean, that place
got-
was littered with kids.
Full length movies. You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like fuck.
Everything is awesome.
Video games and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, like throughout the city they had laid out, they had some kind of a system for vehicles to drive down. So there was actually like tour buses that were driving down little mini paved roads. It's like they had to have some kind of wire,
they're probably magnets or some shit. running
something.
under 'em or
I don't know
something.
exactly what it was, but it was cool to.
They actually had them running.
Yeah, everything's out running around. There's certain stations where you can go press a button and it'll
Something does something.
Yeah, like one Kenny hit. There was an ambulance parked at a hospital, and you hit the button, and the ambulance starts up, and then takes out, turns around, goes down into the middle of the
cute,
city, you know, and ends up coming back and parking backwards back in the spot it was. Like, it was really cool.
But it's a really big area. Like the 4 pictures that I took doesn't do it justice. Like it's a very huge. They call it mini. Was it mini land?
Miniland or something.
And
like
it's
that.
just-
almost like a theme park in itself.
Pretty much, and it's just Lego builds that they've done that are interactive, which is really cool. Like
Like,
Lego-
we didn't even really do 3/4 of Legoland.
Legoland
is huge.
Yeah, that's like a 2-day thing. Like you have to do it in 2 days. We fortunately ran into somebody that helped us get on the rides faster. So like Kenny met a friend at breakfast that morning, and they were sitting next to us, and I started talking to the mom, and she was like, yeah, you know, he's autistic, and I get a special pass with him being autistic. I get to have like 6 people get on the rides, and there's only two of them. There's 4 of us. She's like, did you guys want to go with me to get on the rides? We're like, we can hang out. I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Kenny, you got a new friend.
Sounds good. So we hung out with them for a little bit.
Were they getting along? I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
very
Yeah.
well, actually. Very, very, very well. I didn't even know he was autistic. I guess there's different levels of autism, and it's just I'm not aware, and I'm not informed or educated enough to know about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the kid was really nice and stuff like that. She was cool. We can't do play dates; they live too far.
Right.
But we were able to do some stuff, but they got to a point where we were kind of done hanging out and stuff like that.
All right. Cool. Thanks for the rides, but we got to go.
Well, it was kind of like
Well, she'd already been there for a day, and then we met up on her second day there.
Oh yeah, so
And
she was pretty much done then.
Well, yeah. Well, she took the kids to there's 3 different mini playgrounds for kids to play at throughout the park, and so we ended up riding a ride. Then we went over to this little play deal, and she's like letting her kid play for like 20-30 minutes. And which Rachel told me, I guess there was a time restriction
between the rides.
in between the rides for you to be able to do what you do. So she'd go over there and let them play, and then, okay, let's go to the next ride, and then ride that ride, then let them sit there and play. And it's just like,
let's fucking go. That's how we kind of wanted to do it.
like we've stayed on this one little corner. Like when you walk through the gate, we turned right, and we stayed in that little right area right there. Like 2-3 hours, I felt like. I was like,
You know, like you can tell when Katie's upset. And so I looked at him and I was like,
I'm ready to fucking go.
and so I was like, okay. So I was like, hey, we're going to go.
Well, at that rate, we weren't going to see half of the fucking park.
Right.
I said, we're going to walk around. We're going to go bring his mom back to the front. Because like Cindy did say she wanted to go back. She was ready to go back.
Yeah, well, fuck, we were already 4 hours into it and went through 300 feet of the freaking park.
Right. So she was done.
Yeah.
So we go walk, and she's like, well, I'll just stay with you guys. So we start walking through the park again, and we start looking at other stuff and doing other stuff. We went on a ride that they didn't want to go on. She's like, my kid won't go on this. Like, she's like, he'll probably be scared too. And I'm like, okay. But Kenny loved it. Anyway, so we went on that ride too. And then we ran back into her, like when we were going through, and his mom felt so guilty. She was like, he made me do it.
He made me stay.
He made me stay. And so she was like, oh, I texted you. And I didn't know she texted me. I looked, and she did text me. And she was like, we were just wondering what you guys were doing and stuff like that. Aiden was asking about you. And so they were really nice. They were really, really nice. Shout out
Super
to them.
cool. I mean,
shout out to them. But
her son like shut down after Kenny left.
Oh,
he
really?
wasn't happy anymore.
Didn't want to ride any of the rides.
She says he never acts the way that he did with Kenny. Like the way he acted with Kenny was different than what he acted with other kids. And so I don't know. There's something just about Kenny. And so like, it was cute.
So her son had a shield and a sword because of the Lego Knights.
Right.
And so I asked Kenny if he wanted to get a sword and a shield. Hoping he'd get a different one, but he picked the same one that kid had. And so throughout the rest of the fucking time, dude, they were sitting there battling it out, man. I mean, just whooping on each other, getting in people's ways, falling, like
literally getting people's ways, like having a full out fucking night fight. Yeah, and just getting in front of everybody. Yeah,
almost running into strollers and shit.
Knocking babies out of strollers.
Casualty of the war.
Well, yeah, it definitely is. You know,
they hella got along really good. He made a friend. Literally made a friend at breakfast. He went over there and sat with them at breakfast.
Huh.
And it was like.
Right.
And she's like, hey, you want to hang out? I'll get you on some rides. And we're like, yeah, sounds good.
Sure. Yeah.
But then after a while, after that, we hung with them for a little bit longer. And then we were like, I told her like, hey, we're going to go do our own thing. And we're going to go to the aquarium. There's an aquarium there. And like, we just wanted to go do our own thing. We're ready.
Well, I mean, it's cool to hang out with somebody like that, but it's not like you got to devote your whole trip.
It wasn't like we just met him, you know?
Yeah,
it was like our thing.
You had other plans already.
Yeah. We're just like, we're going to go do our own thing and stuff like that. And she wasn't 420 friendly.
Oh, man.
She made a comment about something that made me lead me to believe that she wasn't. So I was like, oh, because I wanted to be like, ooh, I'm ready to go take a break. And she wouldn't have liked that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
From what I heard.
yeah.
She talked about somebody being an addict. She's like, this person's an addict, but I guess it's legal now. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh,
Woo!
yeah.
All right. What?
Speaking of, you know what? We're going to go over here and do this real scary ride that your kid probably won't want to do. So, yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Oh, we just did our own thing. We're just like, forget it.
Yeah, but Legoland is so interactive.
It's interactive, yeah.
If you really want to do everything there, you probably need 3 days.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there's like areas where you walk into, and there's
Is it a part of Universal, or is it?
No.
No, it's in a different city.
Whole different park. Okay.
Yeah, totally different city. It's in Carlsbad, which is like half an hour north
they say
of
it's San Diego, but it's not San Diego.
It's not San Diego. It's Carlsbad. And then like they say that Universal's in Hollywood, but it's actually in Universal City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is kind of in between Hollywood North, Hollywood South, Hollywood East. Hollywood
So
West.
technically, it's in Hollywood.
But it's its own
like-
city. Like, you know how the cities are down in SoCal? They all kind of
Yeah.
just blend together. And so it's, yeah, no, Legoland was, we had to drive. It was a drive. We actually took the long way back from Legoland. It was fun.
So you guys were
No.
lucky you didn't get
Didn't we?
stuck.
No, we went to
We went to Venice.
we went to Venice Beach.
Yeah, I went to Venice.
Freaking mom got
Oh, okay. Let me fucking.
Oh.
Okay, so you know how Katie's mom is.
Yeah.
I need to hold on. Speaking about break time, this is a story in itself. So she learned a lot going to Venice Beach. Let's just say the Venice Beach is its own experience.
She was enlightened.
Very much so. We were.
Did you guys see the butter me up, butter me down guy?
no, I haven't seen him a couple times.
We were there walking through, and there's these guys that are always there. They were there last time we were there,
Uh-huh.
and they give out CDs. They say, "Hey, I'm gonna give you this CD. It's good music. You like your music?" And, da-da-da. And they're like, I'm gonna autograph it for you. I'm gonna autograph this CD for you." And then they get you to hold the CD, and then they get you talking.
Yeah.
And so I just said no. I was like, "No, you want the CD? No." And I kept on walking.
I don't use CDs. Sorry.
Yeah, kept on freaking walking.
Like, who has a CD player nowadays?
Yeah. Katie was like, Katie, same thing. And Cindy, fucking, all of a sudden we're walking. No, Cindy.
Oh,
Fucking
God.
look back.
Hook, line, and sinker, huh?
They
Oh.
got her fucking good. Fucking stopped her ass. Two guys. And they were like, I look back and they're like, she has her fucking wallet out.
Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Has her fucking wallet out. Fucking, did you
For
see the money fall
what?
out of her wallet?
No, I
One
don't.
of the guys picked it up. And so she fucking was pulling out money out of her wallet. I'm like, Katie, go talk to her right now. Go stop her. And so Katie went over there. What'd you do after that?
Well, I go walking over there and she's got 2 5s and she's trying to stuff them in her wallet. She's thanks. She's trying to stuff. This other guy walks up and he's like, oh man, why don't you spread the love? I didn't get none of the love. I was the only one that didn't get anything, She's all I got is $10 left. And he's all that'll work. I can work with that. Yeah, I bet you fucking can. She fucking handed him the $10 and I was like, all right, let's go. Come on. Fucking grabbed her up and we walked off. I was like, how much fucking money did you just spend? Oh, like $50.
$50.
Yes.
And I'm looking at her. I'm like, for what?
$50.
She's well, he signed it so when he gets famous, it'll be worth something, And I'm like,
Oh my God.
do you even listen to reggae? No.
She couldn't even say what it was. She kept trying to say a Rastafarian, and she kept saying some fucking Afghanistanian.
Some Himalayan music, man.
Totally something different. And we're like, oh my God. So like, so we just battered her. We're like, dude, you can't do that. You can't be just giving money out to people. Well, they just
walk
surrounded
by.
me and then they kept bugging me. And we're like, you just say no. Say no.
Just ignore them.
Ignore them and walk. Like, you don't have to be doing that with people.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking do that. So that happened.
Yeah, and then we eat fucking lunch, and she's like, I want to get a pre-roll. Where can I go? And I was like, looking out the windows, well, there's a building right there.
Yeah,
Just
go walk right
over there and
there.
get you a pre-roll.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna get up and go smoke a cigar and fucking
$100.
walked outside. And she's like, where do I go? Where do I go? So, right there. Right there. There you go. And so she goes walking in there, and then I go walking over, and Kenny came out with me. He goes, plays in the sand. I'm starting to puff on my cigar, and Rachel comes out. She's like, where's your mom? I was like, she's in there. And we talked for a second. She's like, you think I should go in there and see what's going on? I was like, yeah.
Might be a good idea.
Like, she was trying to sell her all kinds of shit.
So I fucking
dude.
walk in there and the chick's all, oh, hey, how's it going? She checks my ID and then she's like, I was like, hey. I said, what's going on? She was showing her flower and she was just trying to get a pre-roll. And she's like, hey, we're just showing her how this flower smells just like the pre-roll that. And then she had some gummies and stuff. I was like, hey, she's just in here for a pre-roll. That's it. Like, she's not in here for anything else. She's like, oh, no, I was just showing her. I was like, yeah, we're good. We're good on that. Just this. She's like, well, which one? I was going to show her these two. Trying to sell her 2 pre-rolls, flour, gummies, fucking whole shit ton of stuff. And I said, just 1 pre-roll. That's it. Which one? And she told me the difference. I said, that one. That one's good.
Oh, I mean, I can see it though. With your mom, I'm sorry, but I'm sure people see her coming a mile away.
I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
so I
Like-
asked her. I actually asked her, like, seriously. I said, you know, and this is when we got to Universal. I said, I really don't understand at your age how you can be so not so streetwise to get in these situations. Like, I don't understand it. Like, at your age, that you don't know how to act in these situations. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't.
Yeah,
To be truthfully honest.
yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, to the point where, like, what about the guy on the beach?
Yeah.
So there's one more thing. There's a guy on the beach too.
And so we go out, we just went and found a glass shop and got Kenny, got us some glass pieces, but then went to a little, they got the t-shirts and stickers, all those random shops that got all the random shit. Got him one of the sand buckets and shovels and
Yeah.
shit to go play in the sand. And so we walk out there and, we just walk straight out from where we were and go up to the beach edge. And Kenny goes and plays in the water and comes back, and there's this fucking random homeless guy fucking like standing around, like not doing anything, just literally standing. And he's just like, he's so fucking out of it. All he can do is smile. And like, he'd stop and he'd like kind of look down and he'd look at you and like smile and fucking look back down. He was fucking on one,
All right.
And he asked me if I had a cigarette. I don't have cigarettes. I got cigars, but you didn't ask for a cigar.
Right,
I'm not
yeah.
putting out any more information than I need
You
to.
got a cigarette? No.
I'm not going to give you one of my $2 cigars. No, and I feel like he was sitting there waiting for me to light a cigarette up. And I don't have a cigarette, and I wasn't going to smoke a cigar because I didn't want him to ask me for a fucking cigar. And so Rachel comes and sits down. She tries sparking one of the joints we got, and
Never mind. He's gone.
I just barely saw the motion of it.
tries sparking up one of the pre-rolls we got, and so she couldn't get it, so I got it, put it in my mouth, and then she had to get up and go help Kenny do something real quick. And,
He comes up. I thought you didn't smoke
well,
cigarettes.
he's kind of like looking at me, and that's what he's all, cigarette? I was like, no, dude, it's a joint. And he's like, oh, okay, and turned back around and kept doing his weird little stance. Well, my mom the whole time's like freaking out, like, I don't know why he's staring.
He's
Like,
stirring. There's
he
something
he looks-
going on.
He's looking over here with a sinister
He's looking
smile.
at Kenny right now, and I know that there's something going on with him and Kenny. And I'm like, calm down, like you're freaking
Are you-
stop, calm the fuck
like,
down.
yeah, and it's like, wait a minute here.
I'm not tripping. You should
I just
either.
gave $50 to some people for a CD that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And now all of a
now,
sudden
Yeah.
you're,
now
the
you're worried
fucking,
about
Yeah.
this fucking dude over here.
you're Miss Intuition now.
And so we ended up smoking a little bit of the joint, put it out, and my mom just won't shut the fuck up
She won't
about this
shut
dude.
up.
It's like, just chill the fuck out, Like one of us start having a problem with him, then we're gonna have a fucking problem. But he
Yeah.
ain't doing nothing,
Yeah.
Like,
Right, yeah.
He's
It's like-
he's looking at you and smiling.
none of us were worried.
Right.
Even Kenny wasn't worried. None of us were
it's like,
worried.
yeah, ain't shit. Like,
She wouldn't shut up, so Rachel jumped up and fucking went over there and talked to him.
I fucking talked to him. I was like, hey. He's all, hey. I'm all, do you smoke weed? He's all, yeah. You want this joint? The rest of those joints? He's all, yeah. And I was like, here you go. And it was like half a joint left of a good joint. And he's all, oh, thanks. And I said, my mother-in-law, she's totally overreacting over there and being weird about stuff. I said, she's being weird about you standing here staring at us. I said, well, is there any way you can walk away and like go somewhere else? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, thank you. And he fucking walked away. And I came back down. He walked away and they're all, what just happened? What'd you just do?
the bum whisperer.
What just happened? He fucking walked away and he's like, they're all, what just happened? And I was like, well, I just gave him our joint. And they're like, what just happened? So I told him what happened. And she's like, I didn't know you were going to do that. I was like, well, you would not
Just fucking
shut
shut
the
up.
shut up about it.
It's like, goddamn,
And
you
it,
know?
honestly, it made me feel like shit because I didn't feel like
Right?
it was
'Cause
a
it's
need
like,
to
hey,
do that.
yeah.
Can you leave, please?
Yeah, can you leave because somebody in my party
Can you
is,
leave this
like,
public
passing
beach?
judgment on you?
Can you leave this public beach, please? Like,
at least she gave him a fucking $15 joint.
I pretty much.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I
I was trying to
understand
give him like
where-
a peace offering to be
right.
nice.
Yeah,
and
it's like, hey, look, I'm not an asshole, but I'm
Can-
trying to fucking.
Yes,
make
I'm trying to help this
Yeah.
situation out.
Trying to fucking enjoy
It just
our
came to
time
me.
sitting here.
It literally popped in my head, and I literally didn't think twice. I just jumped up and fucking did it.
All right.
And then fucking
Fuck it.
And so we're sitting there after he left, and this couple that was kind of a little ways from us fucking comes over, and dude's like, "Hey man, we're getting ready to take off out of town. We bought this kite to play with. You want this kite?" I was like, like a Care Bears kite or some shit. I was like, "Oh, okay, sure, yeah." And so I sat there. Me and Kenny flew it for a little bit. And we were getting ready to take off, and this other couple was walking up by us, and I tried handing it to the chick first, and she wouldn't take it.
it was the way you did it.
Well, I
Want
walked
a
over.
kite?
Yes, it was the
My
way you did it. Do you want this kite? It wasn't like, hey,
Want a kite?
we're leaving. We don't need this kite. Do you want this? It was just like, do you want this kite?
Got a van.
No, just right.
I got
It
a
was
van over here.
Super
You want this kite?
random.
Like,
That's
here,
why.
Take it. Take it.
Take
Cheers.
this
Cheers.
kite.
Kite.
Super.
Once you get on this, you'll be hooked.
Kite. You.
He got him to take it. It was like a Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but it was a kite. And you just kind of pass it to the next person. You know what I mean?
Wonder how long it flew that beach.
Right?
Legend says it's still flying today.
Hey, it might be.
Nice.
Yeah, it was freaking.
I bet you that bum ended up with it. He's probably sitting there high as a kite. With
I
a
was,
kite.
once we left the fucking beach, everybody had to go pee, so we went by the fucking bathrooms, and
You see him all passed out on the
no,
fucking
I
beach.
sparked up one of my fucking cigars and started smoking on it. I was just waiting for him to jump out and be like, "Hey,
He pops up past the fucking trash can. Boop. Thought you didn't have a fucking cigarette.
He was super harmless. Like I did not. He was weird, but it did not feel bad about. Like I didn't feel any way. That's what's like you said. That's what's so weird. She was totally okay with the, Afghanistans,
the Afghanistan,
The Afghani fucking reggae.
Afghanistanis."
Afghanistanis. But she wasn't okay with this young, random, kind of off homeless guy on the beach. He was young too. It just made me like, really? All right.
Kind of felt bad for the dude.
I did too,
no,
honestly.
it's
I felt
like-
bad too. That's why I gave him a peace offering. I was really trying to do it in a way that I was like, I'm so sorry, here you go.
Sorry, my mother-in-law is a weirdo.
I pretty much.
It's like, check it out, dude. I know, I get it. You probably get judged a lot, but no. That one over there is the weirdo in this situation.
I should have said she gave $50 to some random people for her freaking CD. Yeah, so she experienced a lot on that Venice Beach trip. Like
Yeah, when we left Venice, we ended up taking surface roads all the way to the hotel, and we about got fucking lost. Like not so much lost, but we got
we didn't
ourselves
get lost.
we got ourselves into an area in the fucking hills where there was no outs. Like all this traffic was going down this road, stopped and turning left on this one road, and they're like, "Oh, maybe we can cut right," because it looked like all the roads went through.
But they do not.
No, they do not.
There's the reason why
We were
all
changing-
those cars.
Well, we were
don't have
changing
that
the
way.
GPS. We were trying to change it and be like, oh, let's just go down this way. That looks like it goes this way.
And
And then
GPS is like, no, bitch, no.
And then we get to a sign that
Fine,
says
go that way.
no outlet, and we're like, all right, shit.
They should program GPS to where it like laughs at you when you do stuff like that.
Right?
Yeah.
It was fun though. We got to drive through a lot of big fucking mansions. It was a lot. It was through Beverly Hills area and like it just that area in general, all the cities around that area.
Isn't there a road over there you can pay like 10 or $11 and you can drive down it and it's just like all these badass houses and shit.
Oh, we were by all those badass houses. We went through.
Yep. There it is. Oh, he went behind.
Grab the gun. Oh, Thanos, where were you, dude?
Well, before the chaos starts here, we can probably cut
End
it
it.
off now. Yeah,
Okay.
we're at an hour. So.
Oh, shit.
All right. Well, before somebody starts shooting a pellet gun here at a rat, we're gonna go ahead and say
Whoa.
good night.
Okay. Good night.
Peace.